Today we're going to be working on the Super Chief Limited. We're going to take these panels and these front forks off the bike and get this dented rim and tire off. So let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is take these saddlebags off. And then we're going to get these pieces right here off. Get this piece off, get the headlight off. And then we're going to try to get this tire off because this is going to have to come off first before we can deal with this. Now that we got the saddlebags off, we get a chance to really see that rear end, which looks really well intact. Again, this bike only has like 550 miles on it, so it's essentially brand new all the way up into the front end. So the next step is getting that off, so let's get to it. Now that we got the saddlebags off, we can kind of see some of these other components. We got a Dean Speed slip-on exhaust on here. This is probably going to come off because I'm in talks with a manufacturer. We're going to do a custom exhaust for this thing. It's going to be really nice. When we get a little bit down in here, you can see that the sprocket has a little bit of rust in here, or that's the bearing. Take that off and clean it up a little bit with a wire wheel. I'll come on this side, kind of the same thing, a little bit of rust deposit. Clean it up with a wire wheel, put some grease on it, slap it back together. But everything here looks perfectly intact. And you have a little nasty gash right here that I'm not too happy about. So this is one of those situations where things do not come off like they're supposed to because it's all smashed in. So this little button right here, this is a ring that sits around this. It's supposed to come off with just this screw, but you can see it's kind of pressed in all around this. So more likely I'm gonna have to get kind of creative and pry this off because it's really important that we keep the stock wiring harness behind here, because if we chop that off, we're gonna have a bigger issue. So I have to work and try to get this off. Look, fine, man. They can come out like supposed to. Wow. That's, whoa, that was not supposed to happen. Oh, that's broken. So good news is that most of this is intact, but the headlight harness is broken, or at least the plastic piece of it is broken. I can get another one of these, no big deal, but it's just, these are the things you can't see. Oops. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. All right, so it's got 2 signal wires holding this. Ooh, it's 1, 2, 3. All right, now that we got the covers on the front and the headlight off, the next step of this is getting that front wheel off, which is jammed into, I guess, the front of the motor. And then after that struggle, we'll be able to get these forks off. So let's get to it. Whoa, you can literally see the bike just roll back, almost like that pressure is just released. First time this thing's been able to move. Yes. That looks actually okay. Yeah, this thing is beyond done. There's a flat spot there, flat spot there. I think that's where the rotor was, the fender was catching it. And I think this part might have been up against the motor. That's pretty insane, man. But it's off. Now that we got those parts off, we can get a clear view of the front of the motor and also a little bit more of what's damaged, because since that tire was pushed up into that rectifier, we knew that the oil filter was leaking, but now we're starting to get, I guess, a more clear picture of what's really damaged. So what you see right here is the front of the motor. We got the rectifier, oil filter. This is where the tire was pushed up against, so you can see that starter motor. The starter motor is crooked. So that could be a problem. That rectifier is crooked, the oil filter is crooked, but really that bracket right there is also crooked. So all of this is going to have to come off. We're going to have to determine what's broken and what's not broken. But the starter motor, that's probably, hopefully, the worst of it, but we'll see when we get there. Wow, that's not supposed to do that. Well, yeah, it is. Okay. I thought it was like completely loose. It's just, yeah. We got a lot done today. We got the saddlebags off. We got the front tire and the wheel off. We got that front fender off. The tire actually was not that bad at all. We also got the headlight off and also those front covers. Tomorrow, we're going to get those forks off. We're going to get the upper and the lower triple tree off. Hopefully, they're okay. We're also going to get the handlebars off, the rod command. And we're going to see if we can try to get started and finish up the Super Chief faster than the Dark Horse. So, yeah. It is the next day, and it's time to finish taking apart the front end on the Super Chief Limited. So, let's get to it. Seriously? That, my friends, is another example of damaged parts that you can't see. I'm just going to go ahead and take the risers off and just lift this entire thing up at one time. I think I'm just gonna lift this up like that. That's one piece. Take this wire, harness. So we got a good amount of work done on Super Chief today, and I almost finished, but I ran into one small issue from the result of this accident. Let me show you. We have the forks here, and I was essentially hammering this down to try to get it down just a little bit so I can start, spreading the triple tree so I can slide this down. However, we have the fork covers on the Super Chief. There's 2 screws on each of these, and they go up from the bottom into the lower triple tree. The problem is as I'm trying to take this out, it's pushing against this, which makes this tighter. Because of that, I'm not able to get these off easily. So rather than deal with this today, I'm gonna come back and deal with it tomorrow. In worst case, I just cut them off because they're damaged anyway. So we'll do that. A few days have passed, but today we're gonna finally get this Super Chief Limited and its front end completely off. What I decided to do is just go ahead and cut this off. I've already gotten one off. It actually was not that bad. There we go. Luckily, I had my safety glasses on and my gloves because I did end up getting hit in the face with a piece of debris as I was trying to cut this fork cover in half so I can get the tool underneath and screw that off. But we got it done, and we're gonna go ahead and cut the other one off, and we're gonna try to get these fork tubes off. Now that we have this side free, you see that bulge in the back from the impact. We're able to freely slide this fork tube down. I don't want to damage the threads in the triple tree either because I plan on putting another set of fork covers on. I'm just gonna go ahead and just cut this off like we did this side. Yeah, see, that just shows how easy that goes in. Yeah. All right, it's done. Okay, with a little bit more cutting, this should be ready to come off. Close out. Fork's ready to come off. This is how they're supposed to come out. This is how it's supposed to go. This one, you know what's crazy? This one was damaged the most, and it was probably the easiest to come out. That is kind of crazy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay. Oh wow, that was easy. There we go. There's the upper triple tree. This looks really good considering the situation. This would definitely be a good piece to reuse. I don't think we're gonna be able to save the lower triple tree. Let me show you this. See that smooth movement? It's kind of like it's lopsided. I really thought we were going to be able to save that, but I would rather the triple tree get bent versus the frame. So we're still going to take it off and assess the damage. Finally got the entire front end of the bike off. Upper triple tree looks to be okay. How do I know this? I just sat it on the table just to see if both sides are flat. It does pass that test. Flip it over, does the exact same thing. The lower triple tree actually passes that test as well. For the bottom portion, it's actually leveled on both sides, except on impact that axle piece was just bent in the process, and unfortunately I can't do anything with that. And also the bearing inside of the frame, which was going to get replaced anyway, it actually snapped off. That's the first time I've seen that. So you're always finding out new things as you're doing this, but I did learn a few things as far as doing this process. And I need a respirator. I would need to get a respirator next time, because the fumes and particle dust that comes off of these cutting wheels, I didn't think that part through, and I kind of did something halfway through. So I would definitely need a respirator. The wife, she was there to help me take the parts off when I needed her help, and it showed just how easy it is to slide those forks in and out when the pieces aren't, I guess, jammed up in there, right? The next step in this is taking those parts and having them powder coated, but I'm starting to see that this tank is not flush on this frame, and it's starting to make me wonder, is something going on under that? So I'm going to go ahead and take this tank off next and see if this frame is, I guess, lined all the way up to that rear fender. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned, and dive deeper into this bike, and also go ahead next up and putting that motor back together. Apparently I don't have enough to do already, but if you haven't seen me take that motor apart already, you can click right here and watch that video. It's very detailed on how to take a Thunderstroke apart. I think it's very interesting, especially if you've never seen one taken apart. It's a pretty cool video. And also, at some point, I give away bikes. So you click right here and check out my website. Yeah, go check that out. But as always, thanks for listening to my story. If you're subscribed, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.